Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to the Snyder Cut, finally coming back or out or whatever. See, I screwed it up already. So this is it. This is the Snyder Cut. This is a thing that we have been waiting for, even though a lot of people hated Man of Steel, a lot of people hated Batman v Superman, a lot of people hated Suicide Squad. All Zack Snyder. But yet, you know what? This Justice League is going to fix everything. And you know what? Not necessarily wrong. I am joined by my two compatriots across the pond. As you can see, they are together, Zam and Ray. How you guys doing?
Great stuff.
Evening.
And let's just jump right into it. So, you guys I watched it this morning. You guys are fresh off the boat. Like, you guys just walked off the plank and you are on the pier. What are your guys' initial thoughts on the Snyder Cut?
The Snyder Cut really changed things up. Like with the opening of the film, suddenly not even existing in the Snyder Cut at all, where Batman in the previous one was looking for what were those creatures called?
I know what they're called. I can't pull it out of my head.
Yeah, but Batman was searching for the Fireflies, but that didn't exist in this film. So there were so many things that kind of like I was excited for. What did you think?
I thought this film was far superior to what the bullshit Joss Whedon brought out. A lot of things made a lot more sense in this film. At the same time, it's just an okay film. It's not amazing. I wasn't blown away like one of the Avengers movies, but it was a good film, and there were some good moments. Some good payoff, good character developments. Just to quickly brush on a few things, I thought the extra character arc we got with Victor Stone Cyborg was fantastic. Even with his dad, it was fantastic.
I feel like we got an extra character arc with the Flash too.
And I'm about to say with Barry Allen, the Flash, he was more than just a stupid comedy relief. There's way more to that, more seriousness with him as well, way more with his dad and everything. Shame the Iris West scene with him saving her was the only bit we got with them two, but at the same time, his arc was joining the Justice League, so her being involved too much would have kind of strayed from that. Even Wonder Woman was good in this, really good in this. This was like some of the best Wonder Woman I've seen in a while, much better than Gal Gadot's performance in Wonder Woman 2. Aquaman was okay. Batman wasn't a fucking joke character. Like, Jesus Christ, Joss Whedon destroyed Batman in his version of Justice League, and Batman was brilliant in this. There was even a bit of levity from him, like, like he was a bit more relaxed because he had friends. It made him a bit more easier going, so to speak. And by the way, Alfred was brilliant. All my laughs I got from this was from Alfred. Alfred made me laugh so much. His interactions with different members of the Justice League and stuff. When Superman shows up and stuff, I was laughing so much. Like I guess I bet get the tea ready, and he's like trying to teach Diana how to make a cup of tea as well and stuff like that.
Hilarious. Well, no, that was just showing that he was a control freak in regards to stuff that he usually takes care of.
I know.
She knows how to make tea.
Yeah, I mean, she's older than him. I mean, she could teach him how to fucking make tea. She's 5,000 years old, remember? But
which is a line from Cyborg, remember?
Yeah, yep. So the point is, just seeing his interactions made me laugh so much. I got more laughs from him than I did with anybody else.
Well, that's because it's a Zack Snyder film.
Sorry?
That's because it's a Zack Snyder film. They're not there for laughs.
No, but even Barry Allen offered some humor. Even Aquaman. I mean, like, you got no humor from Cyborg, other than other than him playing one of the straight men. But I got some of my humor from Aquaman. I got some of my humor from Flash. But most of my humor I felt I got from Alfred. He made me laugh. I love Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I want Jeremy Irons to play Alfred all the time. He's brilliant as Alfred. I love it.
So out of a 4-hour movie, the character that got the main character that probably got the least screen time gave you the most laugh. That sounds like a Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah, but
All right, so let's know. Are you done, Zam? Or am I...
no, I just want to quickly add that it. Well, we have, like I said, we have seen this film before, and at least everyone else in this film, including Superman, everyone else in this film got a much better deal with Zack Snyder than they did with Joss Whedon, 100%.
Okay. Well, my viewpoint on it is was it better than the theatrical version? Yes. But did it take two extra hours to become better than the theatrical version? Yes. And I feel like another thing is that the Snyder Cut had the hindsight of the Weadon cut to learn from its mistakes, because honestly, Steppenwolf looked the same, like in all of and everything. Like, so when everyone was saying, "Oh, look at Steppenwolf, he looks like a blah 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 blah," they took notes from that and then they updated it now. So I mean, they didn't what?
Steppenwolf was a much better character in this film as well.
Mm-hmm.
They fleshed him out a lot more, just a lot more motivation and stuff like that. I like Steppenwolf in this much better than he was before.
I'm glad we didn't get any like actual dark side fights. Like we saw him, but I'm glad. By the way, spoilers. I'm glad we didn't get any like actual, because there were a couple scenes in the trailers that were like, here, dark side's like in Atlantis shooting his Omega beams and stuff like that. And I'm glad that those were like flash forwards for Cyborg. I think it was Cyborg. But I'm glad we didn't get actual dark side, because I felt like Steppenwolf in this version was a much better version of Steppenwolf, and I honestly felt like he was way more threatening than the original version.
Did you think to yourself, you know what, Darkseid's not going to be like the main villain of this film? I started realizing this. I started realizing this when we got the flashback of him versus everyone on Earth the first time round, and he lost. I thought to myself, you know what, Darkseid's not going to be the main villain, and I came to that conclusion quite quickly. It was setting up for the Justice League 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, which is what he was doing.
Well, and that's what most of the epilogue was setting up for the part 2. I mean, the whole time travel shtick with Flash and Batman and all of them getting ready, and Cyborg getting ready to fight Superman. So, okay, so I'm just going to kind of start running through some of my notes, and we can talk about them. I know you guys have some notes, so we'll kind of bounce back and forth, we'll bounce back and forth between all of our notes. So, this is one thing that kind of irked me, but I couldn't remember, is the Bruce Wayne letting the Kent farm foreclose on. Did that happen in the Weadon cut, or it did?
I thought he bought it at the end of Batman versus Superman. No,
I thought so too. That's what I was thinking, but maybe it was at the end of Justice League. I don't remember.
It was done the same way in both films.
Okay.
I distinctly remember the Superman asking Bruce Wayne about how he managed to get the house back, and he just went, "Or the bank." For me, it stood out in both.
I remember that part, but I thought that happened in Batman v Superman, but I don't know. Okay. Oh God. And okay, so can we talk about the slow-mo really quick?
Yeah, go on.
This movie would have been half the length if they would have put the entire thing at normal speed. I mean, there was slow-mo, and I get it. Slow-mo is good. I use slow-mo sometimes. It works in certain instances, but good God, Zack Snyder uses slow-mo like J.J. Abrams uses lens flares. Like, it's everywhere. God,
I know what you mean. And the funny thing is, the best bits were the bits which were like the action scenes which weren't in slow-mo. He really overdid it, but he did have. There was one moment though in the film which reminded me of 300, was when Diana was fighting the. When Diana was sorry, I got distracted by Ginger Greek's message. When Diana was fighting those terrorists near the beginning of the film in London, and she was like going between the people. It really felt like 300. I believe Zack Snyder made that movie as well.
Ginger, you tried to steal my joke, but I beat you to it.
If you found it, okay, normal speed, fair enough. So, I just want to say as well, this film had, for me, the best Batmobile scene I've seen in all of Batman. When he was in his Batmobile fighting those fucking things in that Chernobyl fucking place, and he's like driving along and he's shooting shit with the
Parademons,
car.
by the way. I
Yeah,
thought.
whatever the fucking things are. Yeah, and he's shooting them and stuff, and he's like spinning his car around, and he's driving in reverse while the fucking chimney's trying to fall on him and shit, and he's shooting them and stuff, and his car's getting torn to pieces and stuff, and he's got Aquaman fucking asking for a lift. I loved it. That was the best Batmobile scene.
That was
I've
like
seen in all
in
of
the
Batmobile.
Weadon cut too. Like
Sorry?
that was in the Weadon cut,
No,
wasn't it?
no, it wasn't like that in
There
Weedon's
was
cut.
there was a different
It
variation
was
in the
much
Weadon
better,
cut.
man. This was much better.
In the Weadon cut, they kitted out the Batmobile with speakers to draw out those flying demons. So they were following Batman, but he was just trying to lure them away. So it's a complete different variation on the two different
Yeah.
scenes.
Well, and he was because there was no like Sonics or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
What did you guys think of the beginning with the Superman scream heard round the world?
Genius.
Oh.
I like it, but it's genius because
I thought that was incredibly lame.
No, we needed a reason for those mother boxes to start opening up because there was no reason given. It's just these mother boxes are opening up in Justice League, yeah. So in Joss League, in Joss Whedon's version, yeah. So this gave relevance to that, and I like it. I like it for that alone. But Scream heard around the world, yeah, it is funny. But you can imagine at the same time somebody of his power levels would be able to do something like that.
I think it was lame.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you guys have any notes you want to go over from towards the beginning of the movie?
I liked Superman in this movie, even though he was used very rarely.
It's almost the same stuff. Almost. I mean, there was a little variation.
His introduction was like no bullshit fucking American fucking Uncle Sam shit. I know something about justice. No, he just came in and just used his shoulder to stop Steppenwolf's blade from hitting Cyborg. I love that shit. That was fucking great. That introduction was so much better than before, and him just owning Steppenwolf.
That whole ground and pound scene later on.
Yep. I'm going to quickly just give this fucking cunt what he wants. What I think of it overall, I'll give it a generous 7 out of 10. If that's what you're looking for, Ginger. As an overall production, it's far superior than Joss Whedon's Justice League, which is absolutely shit. At the same time, this is not blowing me away. There's a lot of crap moments, but a lot of the action scenes are so much better than what Joss Whedon gave. The action is so much better. There's more. The stakes feel a little bit more in this as well. It's not bubblegum. Right?
I'd go and give the film an 8 out of 10, purely because all of the individual sequences that each superhero had was flushed out in a lot better way. So you got to see their strengths. But I kind of feel like they hung on the hero frames a little bit too long, or it was just slightly overdone. I think all those action sequences could have been just like maybe 1 or 2 minutes shorter in some cases. But I really enjoyed the film, and I just enjoyed the fact that they kind of gave each character more time to bond. And
because they had 2 extra hours. And I feel like let me put it this way. I feel like if Weadon would have had 4 hours like Snyder did, I feel like we would have had a much more fleshed out movie, even in the Weadon version. Like if, let's say, Weadon completely did this movie from the beginning, I feel like we would have had the same type of thing. It would have been a different tone. Yes, I agree. But so, I mean, yeah, does this feel more like a completion story from the beginning of like Man of Steel up through Batman v Superman and then Justice League Snyder Cut? Yes. This feels more like a completion of this, of the origins arc of the Justice League, let's call it. And even the Wonder Woman movie. But I really feel like, I don't know. I just, as I said, I mean, they got 2 extra hours. They put a lot of padding in it. And I don't say padding in a bad way. I say like you get a lot of more time with characters. You got to see a lot more interaction with Cyborg and Flash and Aquaman and all them. But I just feel like everyone who's like praising, like everyone begging for this is like, guys, like this is the same. This is the same. I mean, it made more sense than Batman v Superman. Yes. But it was also more of a straightforward film. They weren't trying to like confuse the hell out of us, like in Batman v Superman. You know, like I don't know. I agree with Ginger. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Like but that's what I would give the original the Weadon Justice League too. I feel like that the Weadon or the Snyder Cut had hindsight as an advantage. So if this would have maybe came out in the theater, I feel like it might have even almost been a 5 for me just because of my enjoyment. I'm talking personal. I'm not talking like, oh, it's objectively a 5. It's like, no, and I'm not a big Snyder fan. Like, I don't, all of his washed out color. I mean, I'm an Avengers dude. Like, you know, Captain America running around in big blue spandex is like, oh yeah. So I don't know. Ginger says that he really likes Cyborg. Keep trying. Kamak. Can HBO Max DC please give Snyder the keys for the franchise? So many hints for the future. No. I mean, if he wants to do Justice League 2, okay. Do not give him the keys to all of DC. We saw what happened with Suicide Squad, and fortunately, Patty Jenkins had most creative control over Wonder Woman. And then after that, Snyder stepped out. You know, like so.
Why did they make Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he was like an executive producer or something like that.
Fair enough.
But if you want to give him Justice League 2, let him do his baby, fine. You know, let him continue this baby that he's doing. But you need to give someone else the reign. Someone else needs to be the Kevin Feige of this franchise. I'm sorry. And Ginger Greek says, no thanks. Keep, but I want to see someone take the reins with this cast. Okay. So Ginger, I think he's saying that he wants to see another director.
There was a lot of stupid scenes and a lot of tropes which made me laugh. Like, for instance, when Aquaman saved that fisherman on that boat, like from the moment that scene began to the moment that scene ended, it could have been cut. You could have got rid of all of that because it was just pointless. Added nothing. You know, he fucking saves the fisherman, takes the whiskey, drinks it, jumps back in the ocean. There's nothing there.
But that's what you get with. But this is a director's cut. Keep that in mind.
No,
so all these little nuance.
I get it. So
all these little nuanced scenes that we think are nothing, they mean something to the director. The director. I mean, you may not have gotten it, and I probably didn't even get it. But director's cuts are like the director wanted to convey something to us through this scene. And with the Snyder Cut, we didn't have the benefit of the cutting room floor. I'm pretty sure they kept just about everything in. And if they didn't, somebody needs to take a camera away from Snyder for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, Ginger said, did anyone notice the god-awful soundtrack? It was not the best, but I think any of the music associated with The Flash was pretty cool.
That's actually one of my next notes was I noticed that the Danny Elfman or the 1989 Batman theme was good. That's when I first noticed when the Batman 89 theme was not when they were on the rooftop and everything. And then, Gordon had the bat signal, when Batman first comes in the Weadon cut, the 1989 Batman theme plays.
Yep. And I also heard the Superman theme a little bit intertwined when he was.
Oh, that was in the Weadon cut too, though.
Oh, was it? Okay, fair enough.
But I love that theme. Like the Man of Steel theme is it's one of my favorites of all time. Anyway, go ahead, Ray. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm good.
Zam, go ahead, and you got any notes you want to bring up?
No, I told you I had no notes for this because
I didn't hear you
watching it.
Ray, you've got notes. I heard you have notes. What do you got?
I liked the way when Superman's mom went to visit Lois Lane.
Yes.
And at the end of that scene where you see Martian Manhunter in character to try and figure out what Lois Lane was about, I thought that was a nice little twist setting up for something in the future. And I'm hoping that we do get a second one so that we can kind of see that thread get flushed out a little bit more.
Well, and at the end of the movie, Martian Manhunter did say, "Hey, I'm joining the Justice League, whether you like it." Basically, he said whether you like it or not. So and Superman's just like, okay, so now we're just taking everybody with the cape.
Batman, by the way, did you notice that
Batman? Yeah,
Ben Affleck started to look a little bit like George Clooney in that scene when he was talking to Martian Manhunter, and I kind of forgot he was in it until the end because We only saw that brief clip with him in the middle of the film. But I still don't understand what makes Lois the key. Is Lois?
I was just gonna bring. I have that next in my notes. Like we did not get an answer as to why.
I think there's two types of villains here. We have Darkseid, obviously, and we also have Superman. Because if Superman loses Lois, then he goes down the wrong path, in my opinion. So Lois is the only person keeping him straight and narrow. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. Well, remember, because in the Injustice on the Injustice video games, the Joker killed Lois Lane, and that's what takes Superman down that dark path that leads to injustice. So
that epilogue scene was, because the whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell are they going to fit that Joker, flash forward, dream sequence, whatever? How's this fitting in? I'm thinking to myself, this feels like the movie's about to win, and I haven't even fucking seen this scene yet. Like, how's this happening?
I was waiting for it. I thought it was gonna happen when Flash got knocked out when he was trying to to get the energy to Cyborg or whatever, and he got knocked out of the Speed Force or whatever, knocked out of his speed or whatever.
That was a good time for it.
Yeah, I thought that was the moment there.
Well, and then I thought they would have jumped forward, and then they would have jumped back, and they would have fixed it or whatever. I don't know, but anyway, I mean, Flash is definitely wearing the outfit that he was wearing in Batman v Superman when he went back in time to talk to.
Yeah, he's obviously aged as well. He doesn't look like a young man anymore. He's bearded and stuff. He's more weathered, but I don't know how far that future is as well, and if it'll ever be relevant, and would it be just an alternative timeline as well, like maybe you got two futures which are always going to be bad. Like the Justice League wins, but because Lois dies, Superman turns into an evil cunt and Earth goes to shit. Or the Justice League loses, Darkseid wins, and Earth goes to shit. Either way, they're fucked.
Well, I mean, I think that what they were insinuating was that Superman joins Darkseid. I thought
one of them he loses to Darkseid. And Darkseid, well, I said he loses. So if he loses, he ends up being mind controlled by him, like a brainiac. You know what I mean? And all of that. But it also seemed to me that in the epilogue flashback scene, flash forward scene, it seemed like maybe the Justice League had won because it didn't look like they were fighting anybody else but Superman. No? I'm not so sure.
No, I think it's just Superman. I think it's Superman is a servant of Darkseid in the apocalyptic future, is what I think it is. Okay, so you brought up Martian Manhunter, which is another note I had. Did anyone else catch the Avengers Age of Ultron moment when they were going through?
I told you. I told you. That's just like Age of Ultron. When all fucking like that and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's Age of Ultron. Wait a minute. Are we taking beats from Snyder or Weadon here? Hold on.
Yeah, I know. It worked to a degree, but
I think it would have worked slightly better if each hero hadn't had one of their own leading up to it as well. It was almost like it kind of gave you a flavor, but I feel like it maybe would have had a bit more impact. A little bit like Captain America when he finally says those immortal words, like Avengers Assemble. Kind of like it kind of gave me that kind of moment, but it would have been more powerful if all the people like Diana didn't have that extended hero moment just as she was getting rid of the bomb, or later on, who was the other one who had a hero moment?
Well, they all had like mini ones. Like Aquaman had a hero moment when he stopped the water from getting to the other guys, because when Barry's legs are fucked, then he's no good. And obviously Barry's hero moment to turn back time as well as running fast, so he could get to that moment which he passed, because that moment went past him. So he ran really fast to go back into time to reach that moment, which I thought was brilliant. I don't know how you guys saw that. I mean, that was a great hero moment, as well as saving Iris West as well.
It was fine. I thought it was okay.
The Flash's, movement scenes were really good. I love the way they did it. So different to the CW's way of doing the Flash, and I really appreciated it. He was moving so fast. It looked like somebody was taking photographs. Like, there he is. Oh, there he is. There he is. You know what I mean? It was like it was great. I loved how they did it.
can I say one of my favorite hero moments? And it's actually not much of a hero moment, but one of these moments is when the entire Justice League defeated Steppenwolf. Like, yet Aquaman stab him from behind and like skewered him. And then Superman kicked him or punched him or whatever through. And then as he's going, like just to add insult to injury, Wonder Woman chops his freaking head off.
Loved it.
That was just, I mean, like, what did he? I think he got like, he got sucked into the boob tube at the end of the Weadon version. I'm like, oh, this version was so much better because Darkseid just like, you know,
he stepped on his head as well.
Yeah, he stepped on his head and broke it. I was like, oh. So, keep trying. Kamak says Lois in Cyborg's version of the future, Superman is holding a skeleton corpse of Lois. Yep. Superman turns his back and Darkseid continues destroying the planet. Lois's death is the key to Darkseid's reign. So that's pretty much it. Lois is the key. They have to keep Lois. So the next and
somebody has to be the key. What do you think of those bloody goddamn boom boxes? You know what I mean? Those mother boxes. What the fuck?
I mean, you know, collect 6 Infinity Stones or 3 Mother Boxes. Whatever. I mean,
it reminded me of the 3 rings of the Phantom. You know, you put them together. One was jade, one was gold, one was silver.
Yeah, I mean, they were a different color. Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from with that.
You get surround sound. You know, it was funny. Like, it was just so funny. Like, Darkseid said, "Okay, well, we can't. You know, we spent all this time trying to make a porthole. I guess we'll have to get there the old-fashioned way. Well, maybe you would have got there by now if you fucking started traveling there the old-fashioned way, for fuck's sake."
But here's the thing: like the mother boxes almost became secondary when he found out the AntiLife Equation was there.
Yes.
Which I wish someone, and I know I'm going to lose part of my nerd card. I know generically what the AntiLife Equation is, but what the hell is the AntiLife? It's written in the surface of the planet. What is the AntiLife Equation then? Is it like?
Didn't Darkseid realize that the first time round when he whacked the ground in the flashback?
I was about to say, yeah. Well, he's like, it's the forgotten planet that you left it on. So he can't whack another planet and make it? Like what? What does it just pack up nicely into a suitcase when he goes to leave? It's like his red carpet. You know what I mean? Like, and he has to pack it up every time. I don't understand what their idea of the AntiLife Equation is, because it's always been something that I've never tried to figure out, just because to me it kind of seems stupid. Like I'm sorry, like the AntiLife Equation thing seems stupid, and I'm probably
the next MacGuffin.
Yeah, like the mother boxes didn't even seem important at that point. They're like,
okay, actually, this needs to be answered, because I was telling this to Ray earlier. Like, because the Kryptonian died, yeah, that's why they came to Earth. But why didn't they come to Earth before a fucking Kryptonian even came on that planet? Because for a good portion of that planet's, a good portion of Earth's time, there was no fucking Kryptonian on it. So why didn't you come before? Why didn't they come before Superman's arrival to Earth? It's just weird.
They did explain that, but I don't remember.
Really?
It was some loose, stupid excuse. Oh, okay, here we go. Ginger Greek's going to educate me. The AntiLife Equation is a transcendental mathematical formula originally said to allow those who knew it to dominate. Those who knew it to dominate the will of any sentient race. This is the ultimate goal of Darkseid. Yeah, okay, well, you can Wikipedia and copy and paste anytime, my friend. But still, that doesn't make it's a mathematical equation. The only thing that math does me, is makes me frustrated. It doesn't control me.
By the way, Darkseid looked fucking awful. I mean, he looked like...
I didn't think so.
I thought he did. Like somebody's CGI claymation animation. I mean, that's what he looked like. It was just absolutely awful. And I'm glad we got one moment of Omega beams, but I love the Omega beams, and I wanted way more Omega beams than we got, but I kind of knew we're never going to get that because he wasn't the main villain of the film. So
this is supposed to make us clamor for more, and we're supposed to now call for the Snyder Cut Justice League Part 2.
We probably won't come out till 2030.
Get it all over our face.
Hey, did either of you think that Darkseid's look was just like a misshapen transformer, like a transformer just rounded off? Like the feature set,
looked like Megatron.
The arms.
I actually thought the other dude initially was Darkseid. I thought when he said Desaad, I thought he was saying Darkseid's name wrong, or the subtitles I was reading said it couldn't pick up the name properly or whatever, and I thought he was saying Darkseid or something like that. But and then I thought that
No,
dude was
Desaad is his right hand.
yeah, and I remembered that Desaad was his right hand man, and then we finally got to see Darkseid and stuff like that. I wasn't blown away by the magnitude of it. I found it very weird that it was 4:3 and not 16:9. I mean, these are just personal touches. Yeah, suck my nuts. Suck my nuts. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll butcher his asshole now when I next see him.
All right, and I just have to say, this is the very end of my notes, because I didn't have that much to say about it, but like I hate Leto's Joker. And I know they tried to make this Joker seem more like the Heath Ledger Joker to make him a little bit more bearable. And you notice he didn't have any of the tattoos anymore. I didn't know they had tattoo removal in the future. Huh?
I like this version of Jared Leto's Joker. I thought it was much better.
No, I can't stand him. And his slow little laugh. Ha ha ha.
I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it, but I just thought that all of that was pointless. All of that was pointless. Like, you can't have the Joker on your team. He's the sort of person who will kill his own teammates for a laugh. That's what he does.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to seeing?
Yeah.
Whatever event made the Joker transform from one character to the other, because they make reference to how his what was her name? Harley Quinn dies, and you're like, oh, could that be the thing that moves him from being gangster Joker into this more sick and twisted with the blood around the lips?
No, he just saw The Dark Knight and he's like, oh, I should do that. Maybe I can tell them how I got my scars.
I like seeing Flash Thompson play what's his face? Darkseid, Flash Thompson from Spider-Man.
That you mean Deathstroke?
Yes. Sorry, I meant to say Deathstroke. Yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool seeing him with the mohawk in the future scene and stuff like that, which is kind of unusual, him working alongside Batman.
Well, and it's really funny because in just the previous scene, he was on the boat with Luthor, and he just found out that it was Bruce. And I mean, and also speaking of that future scene, Joker knows that it's Bruce. Like, I mean, I guess
everyone knows now. If Lex Luthor knows he's Bruce Wayne, that's it. The cat's out the bag.
Well, I think Luthor likes having something over Bruce Wayne's head. Like, that's why I don't think he puts it out there for everyone to know. But he is telling people that it would benefit him, like him as in Luthor. Like, that's why he told Deathstroke, because he probably hopes Deathstroke will kill Batman.
Fair enough.
Did you notice the good boy at the end of it? At the end of the exchange, when he gave the name out, Bruce Wayne, he's like, "Good boy, like you're under my thumb now."
And he's doing it for free as well, Deathstroke.
Dude, I'm surprised Slade didn't kill him for saying that. I about waited for him to like pull a gun out. I'm like, dude, like you don't say that to Slade.
So where do we go from here?
Nowhere, probably. I mean, look, I'm not, as I said, this movie wasn't terrible. It's unusual for me to give something a 5, but the only reason why I'm giving it a 5 is because it's pretty much the movie we've already seen, just super extended, and it's a director's cut. So, I mean, would I mind seeing part 2? No. Am I clamoring for it? No. That's my take. I kind of like the direction that the DC universe is going currently, like with Shazam and Aquaman and Zam, you're gonna hate me. Wonder Woman 84. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the best out of all the DC movies, but I didn't hate it.
Chronologically, it's the most stupidest film ever. It makes no sense. As I said before, she was out of sight since World War One, and we're not supposed to hear from her yet. She was in everyone's brain cell when she was reversing the wishes in 1984. So what the fuck? It makes no sense. Patty Jenkins, you ended up smelling your own farts, Patty Jenkins, and that's why Wonder Woman 84 is a big pile of shit. Never smell your own farts, fucking dumb bitch.
They can always just retcon it and say it was a what if sequence.
I mean, that's what they're talking about with the Flashpoint movie. You know what, Ginger? You know what? He's saying cut my mic. We're gonna cut everybody's mic. Why aren't you here? Get in here and talk to us, bruh. Come on. I'm hosting today. I'm calling your ass out.
Get in here, you fuck.
Ginger fuck. All right. So, all right. So, what else you guys? I mean, we could kind of break down. I mean, I think that's really all the differences. Really. I mean, um,
Oh no, but look, there's some things like when he said, what's your superpower? He goes, I'm rich. That felt stupid in Weadon's version, but it felt really good in this version. I mean, just because you saw him throwing the cash around a little bit earlier, you know what I mean? It just it's amazing how context and a bit here and a bit there can make an average or stupid scene so much better. And I think that's what Zack Snyder brought to this. But yeah, the slow-mo was ridiculous. I couldn't handle that. Is this fucker coming on?
no, he ain't coming on. All
Oh,
right,
fair.
but that's it. I mean, I'm through my notes. Those are really the only differences. Ray, do you have anything to add?
I was wondering, now that we've seen two different variations of Cyborg separating the mother boxes, which ones did you prefer? In this one where you've got Cyborg inside and you see his human form, and then there's his family kind of emotionally blackmailing him to kind of not do anything. Did you notice there was three of them, and then he got close, and as he was separating them, they suddenly changed into like the demon witches type stuff.
Oh, I noticed the demon witches. I didn't notice the three versions of Cyborg. You mean?
No, he had his mom, himself, and his father.
Oh
And they
yeah.
were all there saying, "Come be with us and be a family. We'll turn you human." Almost like he's the biggest threat. Let's just kind of give him
What he wants.
really wants. And then he's kind of got to fight that urge and separate them out. I kind of liked this way of doing the mother boxes. I don't know. It seemed like an improvement on the last one.
No, yeah. I mean, as I said, this movie had a lot more room to breathe. And I think those moments, and as I said, this definitely feels like a completion to the Justice League origins that Zack Snyder started. So I agree with you there. I mean, a lot of those moments that gave parts, like big climactic parts, a chance to breathe were great. Zam, do you have anything to add?
I share it. I agree with with Ginger Freak regarding Snyder's humor.
Gay.
It was far better than what Joss offered. Look, personally, regarding Joss Whedon, I think he would have done a good Justice League if he was able to start it from scratch. The fact that he was having to mix and match a lot of what Snyder did already made his thing a hodgepodge of bullshit. This was just far better because it was one person's vision without interruption. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was better, and I'm glad it was. But 4 hours, I mean, you could easily cut this down to 3 hours. I know a lot of scenes you can get rid of, and this still will be a good film.
But that's why I said this is a director's cut. This is what the director's vision of his Justice League.
Well, you know what you need to do? You need to do a director's cut, yeah, and let this fucking director right here.
Or we could have the Weadon version, the theatrical version, the Snyder cut, and then the WB Snyder cut, and then so we can have 4 versions, baby. 4. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up.
All right.
Thank you everybody for joining us. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. We're a small little channel, but I mean, we enjoy talking about this stupid shit, and we enjoy the interaction.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, baby.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier tomorrow, baby.
I can't wait, man. This was the starter. This was the hors d'oeuvres. This was the tapas. This Justice League shit. The main course is tomorrow, baby, and I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I can't wait. All right, so with that all being said, there is no I in team, but there is in Justice League. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Catch you later.
Laters.